was important for us to provide a training for the folks here at DFA. So just so you guys are aware, this is going to be a monthly recurring type training that we'll be providing to the organization. This month is going to be focused on the cybersecurity aspect. However, over time, there will be different topics that we'll be covering to make you guys better aware of what's to come, or give you some additional awareness and knowledge as to what we're doing as a whole. So we'll go ahead and get started. One of the things that we've been seeing quite a bit on lately is the influx of malicious emails and phishing. So we thought that it'd be important for us to focus on defining that for you guys and giving you some awareness. By the way, throughout the course of this presentation, feel free to raise your hand if you have any questions. I like to have it dynamic and be able to answer questions along the way. However, I will also be allowing for some time once we're finished with the presentation itself. But getting back to this, malicious emails can come in different ways. So some of the things that you're going to typically see from that perspective are phishing attacks, but there are different other things that can be sent your way as well, including malicious attachments or BEC attacks. And we'll get into a little bit deeper dive within phishing attacks as well as BEC attacks throughout the presentation. But as it relates to the malicious attachments, one thing that you'll typically see from this perspective is if there's a file that has embedded malware or ransomware, there's an opportunity that once you click on it, it can actually infect your system, or in fact, really infect the network as a whole. Typically, in these type of scenarios, some of these files will actually lock out files within your system, within your network from a share access perspective, and the attackers will request for a ransom in regards to that type of situation. We've seen a lot of organizations go through this. In fact, we've even seen, as of late, some organizations here at the state that have come under fire from these type of attacks. One of the main ones that we're really going to focus on today is the phishing attacks. You know, for those that don't know what a phishing attack is, it's an attempt to steal some personal information or gain access to some of your accounts using an email, a message, an ad, or additional sites. When you're getting this type of stuff, then this is also to apply to your personal life as well. You're going to see different things like a text message that says your Netflix account has been shut due to suspicious activity. Click here to go there and release more information. And when that happens, you have an opportunity of being victim to a phishing attack. Or if you get an email impersonating someone, you'll see that we've actually had several of these recently, trying to get you to click on a link to review a document, and it has specific instructions. You'll see some that will actually request for you to verify account information. There'll be some that will request for you to provide information within a sense of urgency. And a lot of times, a tall tale sign of a phishing attack is there are incorrect information within the emails, such as misspellings that might affect you directly, that on the just first glance, you're not going to notice it, but as you start to really look at it, it actually does present itself as a situation. And we'll go over some examples of this here shortly. But these are typical things to really keep an eye out for when you're really seeing a phishing attack come in. So there are several types of phishing attacks that we need to be aware of. And as funny as it sounds, they have different funny names that you really can't make up, but it really does focus on it. So one is a spear phishing attack. And what you see within that spear phishing attack is it's really focused on an individual. Typically, what you see within a spear phishing attacks is they're trying to go after a particular person that has specific information that the attacker wants to get. Another attack is a whale phishing attack. You typically see these with people that have elevated access, or sometimes executive staff that they want to expose information and gather access to specific accounts from this. Others are HTTPS phishing attacks. So if you go to a website and click on a link that's false, that sends locates you to another site that is malicious, that could be one. You see this also within emails, where it says that it's a link to a specific location and it sends you someplace else. So this is one that we're seeing quite a bit. And then there's some that you guys would typically see either from your work cell phones or even from your personal cell phones, and that's smishing and vishing. What smishing is when you get a text message that says that your account's been locked out, or you have a package that's being delivered and we need you to verify it, those type of things that have a link within it within a text message. As well as vishing, which is more of what you see from a telemarketer type scenario, where somebody's calling you, posing to be a certain individual to see if you would provide additional information for them. Some of these attacks you see at like call center or help desk environments, where someone is impersonating an individual that needs their account reset, and is able to get past certain thresholds to be able to gain access. And finally, there's account takeovers. So those ones are pretty self-explanatory. It's their email access that is requiring you to go there and put in account information, at which time they take your password and account and move forward to gain additional access. So one that I had talked about earlier was the business email compromise, or BEC attack. This is something that we're starting to see here at the state, and you guys have actually seen this in numerous emails that have come out in the last few weeks. And these are people that are impersonating trusted individuals or some of our trusted partners external to the state, in order to trick the organization into divulging its sensitive information or transferring funds or gaining access to different things. The big thing here is they impersonate the person that sending that email and providing attachments or suspicious links with instructions that how to move forward within that link, and regarding terms of service, or really focusing on how you would go through the process of logging in to gain access to certain sites. So before we move forward, does anybody have any questions? Okay. What I want to do is actually show you guys some examples of this, and they're real-time examples that we've been seeing over the last few weeks, and how to really spot them out. So as you see here, this is an email that came in from someone from New Mexico State. Some of the tall tale signs to really look out for is, number one, are you guys expecting an email from as far as a proposal or RFP from anybody at this time? I wouldn't click on anything if you don't expect it, and even if you do expect it, if you actually reach out to someone, it's going to really help out. just to validate that. But things to check out are mousing over your email. So for instance, if you mouse over the email here, it's going to give additional information. This one appears to be a valid email address that may have been compromised, but sometimes within here, there might be a misspelling within the email, or you see something different here. It might say like nmsu.edu.microsoft.com or something to that extent. But this will tell you if you guys have any type of suspicion that it's not a friendly email. This is one of the first places you want to go just to validate that the email address is valid and it's coming from the sender directly. The second thing that we see here, and this goes back to the BEC attack, is there's information regarding, we have the terms of service, or terms and conditions for your review and acceptance. And they're requesting for you to go there and reach out, to this email in order to gain additional confirmation of receipt, along with troubleshooting if necessary. So this part right here is really, really a tall tale sign of what's going on, unless you're expecting that document. And third, if you mouse over this link, it gives you a little bit further idea as to what's going on. In this case, you see that ELT nmsu-my.sharepoint.com with specific letters. It might not line up with what's going on here. In this case, having the ELT before NMSU is a misspelling associated with what's going on here. I will show you guys within other ones as well. So let's take one that came in. Let's use this one because this one actually came out last week, and it's something that somebody had spoofed internal to the state of New Mexico, and it's definitely pertinent here as well. So we have validated that the individual that was sending the email had been spoofed. However, this is a valid email address. There hasn't been any changes. So a lot of times when you click on the links, they're gonna be able to compromise your email in order to move forward with that. But if you see from this link right here, it says nm.gov.t with one-my.sharepoint.com. That first portion, including the dash, is going to be where the gotcha resides. So please look at these very closely. The common thread within the latest compromised emails lately is they all have a similar look and feel. So if you guys see this for a request for proposal, submit proposal package, with the terms and conditions, with review and acceptance, along with acknowledgement of receipt and support. Definitely pause before you move forward. Reach out to the individual directly to make sure that they're not that they did send it to you. If you're not expecting anything like this, please report it to us within IT. We'll go ahead and move it from there. And finally, this is another example, just so you guys are aware. There again, it has a similar trend of what we've been seeing, but in this case, it's the same thing as before. It has the NM GOVT1-my on this side of the house. That actually is a tall tale sign of what's going on here as well. Do we have any questions so far regarding this? Okay. So next is what to do if you're being targeted. So first and foremost, like I was saying, don't click on any unfamiliar links. If it doesn't look right, please reach out to IT immediately for us to go and investigate this further. We have a back channel that we have communication amongst several agencies as well as Do It in order to identify some of these threats as they come in. And as such, we reach out to the Office of Cybersecurity to get these on the radar and remediated from their end as well. If it's coming from someone if it's coming from someone call them and verify it. Did you guys send me this email? Just that's always a quick way of really being able to validate that you are in fact a recipient of that particular email. And if you are a victim of this phishing type attack, within your email, at the top of the bar, you can open up the email itself and click the Phish Alert report button. And if it doesn't work, definitely notify us within IT in order for us to not only report it and get it stripped from the mail traffic and mail flow, but also for us to go there and address taking care of the Phish Alert report buttons functionality for you. So there's, before we get into what to expect from IT, there is some things to note as well. In the scenario that you do click on the affected link, there are some expectations for you to be aware of, and that's immediately reaching out to us within IT. There is going to be some alerting that comes in from cybersecurity stating that there is a malicious link that got clicked, and just being able to remediate that as quick as possible is going to be the best thing for us and yourself. So definitely reach out to us immediately. What we would recommend is for you to disconnect your computer from the network if you guys have done that. So if you guys are on a docking station, just unplug from the docking station and reach out to us so we could come in and take a look at it. Some of the things that you'll expect from an IT perspective is, as soon as a link is clicked, we're going to have to lock out your accounts. That's going to be your log on to your computer, your email account, and other accounts such as Share. So we have to be vigilant that we're protecting our statewide resources. And Share is a very, very critical piece to the state of New Mexico, and we have oversight within the application along with others that we need to have certain levels of responsibility to protect the integrity of those systems. What will happen at that point is we will request for you guys to reset your passwords, and we will assist you guys in going through that process. We will also report the whole situation over to Do It, as well as the Office of Cybersecurity, at which point they will help purge the malicious email from the email servers. And then we'll be running a antivirus scan or intrusion prevention and detection scan within your computer to ensure that you don't have any malicious files, that there isn't any intrusions on your system that might make it out onto the network here within DFA or here at the state in general. So these are big things that we're really focusing on here. So with that in mind, I want to turn it over to you guys with any type of questions that you may have that we can really focus on assisting with as we start going through this process. This is going to be huge moving forward. One of the things that we're looking at doing, and just for you guys' awareness, is that those people that do get infections on your computer, if you clicked on a malicious link, we are going to be working with Do It on assigning some phishing training through the Know Before system. I know that you guys have had phishing training on an annual basis, but this will be something that will be tacked on just from an awareness perspective that will give you further insight on what's malicious and what's not, in order for the network to be safe and for you guys to have additional extra a little bit of more awareness of what's going on your systems as well. So, questions?
Hey, Carlos,
Carlos,
it's Mark. Oh, nope, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're first. Go ahead.
Carlos, it's me, Lori, here at local government. I was just going to ask you if we think that something, even after we look at it, it's kind of suspicious. Is it okay if we send an email asking about it? I know that sometimes you'll get an email saying that there's emails that haven't come across to your inbox because it's unfamiliar or something, and I just ignore it. But I wasn't sure if that's something that we could just kind of send over your way and just ask
Yes,
if we don't know for
absolutely.
sure.
Yeah, if you contact us within IT, we will definitely assist from that perspective. I want to highlight something for everybody's awareness as well. So as part of the Know Before training from an annual perspective, over the course of a year, you will actually receive up to 6 emails at different times that are going to be spoofing activities, more from a training perspective around phishing. So you may get an email from FedEx or something that says that you have a package waiting. That's the whole thing with the fish alert button or reporting it, in order for us to get that in place. If you click on one of those links, you are going to be required to do that Know Before training as well. So it's a little bit of awareness, and it helps us from that perspective, and really gives a little bit more insight to you guys from that side of the house. So just keep us in the loop on any type of suspicious things like that.
Thank you.
No problem.
And Carlos, it's Mark. I just
Yes.
want to add for everyone's awareness, and for those of you who may not know me, I'm the state controller. I'm also the acting AST director. But in my profession, or at least in my position, we have the responsibility, the ability to consult with all of the agencies around the state, which there's 123. I can tell you there have been 4 state agencies that have gotten hit with ransomware attacks, takeovers, all driven by someone clicking a attachment or a link in the email. And when I say they got ransomware, they lost access to the systems. And it's not just a matter of these great IT folks being able to go in there, turn it off, turn it back on, and fix it. These state agencies had to bring in outside contractors to triage, to figure out a way to get their data back, spending hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to do that kind of stuff. And all the while, that whole time, they don't have access to their data. I won't share the names of the agencies. I'm sure many of you may know because you've seen them in the newspaper, but a couple of those agencies were without data for weeks and months, and some of them were in my office working on our computers because they couldn't use theirs. These events are very costly to the state, and to us as an agency in DFA. And as Carlos mentioned, it's not just about DFA and our network. We have Share, we have the state's fiscal agent bank account. There's a lot of stuff. If someone were to get into one of y'all's computers, they have access to a lot of stuff that is very problematic. So the more vigilant you can all be, the more you all understand this stuff, the better. When in doubt, ask IT. That's kind of my motto. If I see something, I'm never going to try and approach it myself. I'm going to reach out to Carlos or Elizabeth and the staff and just get their guidance. That's what they're there for. They're our experts. They're here to support us and help us. So please continue to lean on them for that help, and attend all the trainings that they begin to push out to everyone, because we need to protect our data, our system, and you all as well. So thanks, Carlos.
Thank you, Mark. Crystal.
I've got a question. If I have reviewed something and I thought it was a phishing thing and I sent it via the phishing button, Do I ever get feedback saying, oh, this really wasn't phishing, Crystal, you might want to actually look at it? Do we ever get it back if it wasn't in fact phishing? Because don't you guys, based on what you said, you're going to review it and see?
Yes, so I don't recall if there is a confirmation if it's not a phishing attack. I think that what goes on is cybersecurity over at Do It actually does a review, and if it is stripped, I will double back and verify with cybersecurity associated with that particular request, and we'll get back to you on that for sure. I'll have a follow-up email regarding that to the group.
Okay, because I would rather send it and it not really be a phishing thing
Yeah,
than go, oh, it's fine, and go about my day and it being something that's horrible. So,
absolutely. Yeah,
okay,
we'll
cool.
we'll
Thank
we'll
you.
get some follow-up on that one for sure. Thank you for that,
Okay.
Crystal. Clark?
Yeah. Hey, Carlos, thanks for the great presentation. This is related more to what I would call hitchhiking than pushing. Do we have any evidence of folks from outside who somehow wind up participating in either a Teams meeting or a um, a Zoom meeting, that sort of thing, who simply got the link and decided that, hey, I want to spend an hour doing this, where they might pick up some information about different agencies and so forth. Is that something to worry about? We always monitor it if people have phone numbers and not names, that sort of thing. But have those instances crossed your desk, if you will?
So we haven't seen anybody hitchhike into some of our meetings. I think that typically within a lot of the meetings that we host, we're pretty vigilant on who's attending those meetings. It's not to say that some individuals, if there is let's say that I was hosting a meeting and somebody that I had a scheduled meeting happens to jump on. We have seen that in the past because it's within a personal conference room. But traditionally, we don't see that for unless somebody's invited. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much, Carlos.
No problem. No problem. Anybody else have some questions? Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We have recorded this session.
There's one in the chat.
There is? Okay, let me see. Bear with me 1 second. Okay, if you're monitoring DFA email submissions with phishing emails, come to that email address. So you're talking about email, like shared email addresses. Typically from that perspective, if an email goes to a shared mailbox, there will be someone that monitors or takes a look at that, from the actual each shared mailbox itself. So if it's kind of the same scenario as getting it into your regular inbox. If you see that email, please click on the phishing alert button. If we gather that type of email within our back end process with Do It and the different organizational CIOs, we'll actually flag that and alert that within the organization. As you guys have seen in recent times, either myself or Elizabeth have sent out emails to the organization highlighting a little bit of an alert associated with different phishing attacks. So we'll make you guys aware of that, and just letting us know as you guys have that you guys are a recipient will really help us out with locking this down. Does that answer your question, Eric? Cool, thank you. That in mind, just want to throw it out there for anybody that has additional questions before we close out. Okay, well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We look forward to providing these type of trainings for you in the future. And if you guys have any follow-up requests, feel free to reach out to me associated with any of these phishing items or questions that you may have. And we'll go from there. If anything, enjoy the rest of you guys' day, and we'll see you again next month. Thank you.
Thank you.